Are you a performer that's conscious to conserve your hearing who wants to also hear yourself better on stage?
Hold on. I'm not hearing it right.
Well, if that's the case, might I suggest you try in-ear monitors. Now, using in-ear monitors might take a little bit to get used to, but in my experience, being able to hear yourself better by blocking out all of the different ambient noises that can be occurring on a stage, you just perform better overall. And all of you singers out there will be pleased to hear that generally you don't have to push your voice as hard because, the perception of being able to hear yourself, you're not trying to rise above all of that other noise, which means that you get everything associated with good vocal health and stamina, and you sing in tune more. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. La, 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 la. All right, so if this is your first taste into finding out a little bit about this whole concept of in-ear monitors, then I'd assume that you'd probably want something that's really affordable and that's just all in the one box. You don't have to buy a bunch of separate things. Well, the lovely people at the company Xvive were generous enough to send me the U4T9 package and asked me to do a review here on my channel. Now, this is the very first time that any company has done this. So thanks, guys. I hope this is to your liking. And also, you watching this, if you're interested in this product, I hope that you get a lot out of it. But in case you're wondering, no money's been exchanged. There's no payment involved in me doing this video. They're just generously giving me the unit to be able to use to do this video.
Does anyone want to see my unit?
So I recently filmed myself doing an unboxing and a test of the unit. Here's what I discovered. Okay, so inside the package, you get a transmitter with a TS adapter. Now, this transmitter connects to the mixer. You also get a receiver, which is your belt pack, which connects to your earbuds that you plug in, which, yes, you get a cable with earbuds as well, some different sized earbuds, which is quite helpful if you think about it for the different sized ears that are out there. Now, it also comes with a USB charging cable. Now, it doesn't come with the charger, but it does come with the rechargeable batteries. Oh, and also, of course, there's some instructions. Yay! All right, so let's talk specs. Okay, so the wireless range that it uses is that it actually operates within the 2.4 gigahertz band, which is the same as other different types of Wi-Fi things. So you got to be careful with phones and internet and so forth. That's good and bad. What's great is that it doesn't actually interfere with anything else that is using other types of wireless functionality. Now, the unit has 6 different channels that it can operate on. And I'm actually unsure because I've only got one of these. I'm not sure how many can run simultaneously at the same time on different channels. I would assume that it would probably be a good 4 or so successfully, depending on the environment. You could probably run all 6 successfully in some situations, but it's probably a good safe bet having some spares just in case you have any dropouts and you need to find a different channel. Now, the connection range is up to 90 feet. I've been able to successfully just get this channel to be able to go into these ears, and I've been for a decent long walk. When it's out of line of sight, it starts to get a little bit crunchy, but look, you'd expect that, wouldn't you? But I can get a pretty far wide range when it is in line of sight. Now, for best results, you've got to have the transmitter as close to the receiver as possible. For instance, you can use an extension XLR cable to be able to get it closer to wherever it is you're performing on stage. And definitely have the units in the line of sight. Now, if you're mixing from stage, this shouldn't be a problem. But if not, then plug the unit or an extension XLR into the stage box directly. Now, one neat thing about this unit is that you can actually buy extra belt packs, the receivers, which means that you can run multiple sends off the same mix channel. So you and several bandmates could have exactly the same mix. So for instance, if you have 3 singers, you can tell who is louder as a lead vocalist versus the backing harmonies, for instance.
singing. I'm singing.
Or, as I mentioned, with the 6 different channels, you do have the option of running up to 6 separate mixes to 6 separate people. Okay, so putting this unit to use. Now, the first thing, you got to make sure that the unit is charged. So plug it in first, make sure that it's fully charged, just to be on the safe side. Now, they do last up to 5 hours, but if you need to, a good tip is to just put them on charge in your breaks. Now, the second step is to connect the transmitter either directly into your sound mixer's auxiliary output with either an XLR or TS jack, or directly into your stage box. And remembering that the unit works its best when the transmitter and the receiver are closer and in a line of sight. So a extension out of the stage box closer to wherever you set up on stage is a great thing to do. Now, just to be really clear, this is a mono signal being sent from the transmitter and being received by the receiver. So you'll be hearing sound out of both ears, but it's a mono signal.
Mono, don't.
Then you got to make sure that the transmitter and the receiver are both set to the same channel. Now, if you experience any dropouts, just try a different channel and keep going until you get something that is rock solid.
Change the channel, Marge.
Okay, and the last couple of steps are just plugging in the earbuds and adjusting the volume. Now, just a quick side note, this might go without saying for you, but just remember, use good, solid gain structure, meaning don't overload the signal or don't have a really quiet signal that you're trying to hear. So if you're not really sure about what the gain word actually means and how to do that, well, I made a special video for you. I'll leave a link below in the description. Okay, so what do I really think about this product? Well, my honest thoughts are that it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, you don't need a full rack of stuff. You don't need a power supply, and it's very affordable. So it's a no-brainer for me. I'm still yet to figure out exactly how it's going to work at a gig, but everything is pointing towards Now, one thing I did notice when I was testing it is that the sound is very clear, which is great, but sometimes you want to be able to adjust the way that it does sound. So for optimum sound results in being able to control it, might I suggest that you use an outboard rack style EQ to be able to control some frequencies, and also a compressor style limiter to be able to keep a lid on the dynamic range. So if I've sparked your interest, if I've put you over the edge where you think I need one, well, I'll leave a link below to be able to buy from a local Australian dealer. Of course, check your local area places of buying wherever you're watching from. Now, one thing that I will say is that you can, like I mentioned earlier in the video, you can buy a bunch of these separate items. But like what I said, the U4T9 is just a one-stop shop. You get everything and it's fantastic. So I dig it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you actually got something out of it. Now, before I go, the Crafty Music Tips channel has a bunch of different music tips related videos that will potentially be helpful for you in other areas, not just in-ear monitors. Now, before I go, I also have a free gift to offer you before you leave. It's called 5 Steps to Fast Improvement. Basically, it's just a free ebook download that I'll leave a link for below. It's a quick, easy read. Basically, we've all been there where we're chasing our tail and we're just not getting those improvement levels that we want as a musician, as anything really. But in regards to music, I'm the music tips guy. I want to offer this for you just to be able to help if you're feeling like you're not achieving at the rate that you would like. 5 Steps to Fast Improvement is 5 steps. Read them. I hope it can help. So I'll leave a link below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. I'll see you in another Crafty Music Tips video really soon. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, don't forget that you don't have to do everything right now. Just do the next thing. Cheers.